Welcome back to Love and Junk Food. I'm Laura.
I'm John.
And today we're really excited because we have the new, what are they calling it? Nostalgia?
The decades. Through the decades.
Menu at Taco Bell. So, first things first, I just realized I'm wearing one of my favorite t-shirts. So we'll be zipping out my sweatshirt. Sometimes people like us to share our t-shirts with them. So it says believe in yourself, and it's Bigfoot, and it says at the bottom, even if nobody else does. I don't know why I love that shirt, but I do.
Mine says Blink 182.
Okay, so the decades menu starts in the 60s.
In the 60s. So we have a tostada.
What
is on the 60s menu?
This has got to be a tostada.
That's got to be the tostada.
Okay, here you hold it.
Let's take it.
Oh, and we have what? A cherry Pepsi or something like that?
Yeah, I just got a cherry Pepsi, so I got
drink.
something to drink. Laura brings her drink with her, and I always am left out.
There it is. We were not born in the 60s.
Yes, I didn't have this at that time because I was not born yet.
Let me see. Let me look at you. It kind of reminds me... I'm surprised they don't have it now. It kind of reminds me of the Mexican pizza without, like, the double layers.
Yeah. It looks like it's got beans, lettuce, cheese. That's like it on a tostada. On a tostada.
Break.
It's the beans are the glue that holds it all together. Oh, and there is a sauce on it.
A little bit of sauce.
Yeah.
Not much sauce to speak of, really.
The sauce looks like it's all on one side.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
Very simple.
Mmm.
You know who that would be great for?
Me?
You know those really picky eaters? Get one of those. Hold the sauce, hold the lettuce. But they might not like beans either. That's great. I like it. Very simple. So the 60s, if you were born in the 60s, I'm trying to think. What do I think of? The music of the 60s, I think of like The Who.
Yeah.
And Van Morrison and the Kinks. And who else? Fleetwood Mac, I think, started around that time. I don't know. I think of that, and I think it's one of my favorite, as far as clothing goes, you know, the whole look of the 60s was very, I love the mod look of the 60s.
Right. Yeah.
That was like my favorite trend, I think. When I think of the 60s, that's what I think of. The furniture, almost like kind of spacey look from the 60s. Oh, I love that.
It's kind of the breakout decade for, you know, like social justice and, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, people got stuff done in the 60s, and people cared in the 60s, and I hope people still care now because...
we need it. All right.
Yes, we do. Next, moving to the 70s. What am I supposed to be looking for?
Let me pull out my notes.
Something burrito, I think.
Yes, green salsa burrito from the 70s.
Are you green salsa burrito?
So I don't know exactly what this has in it, other than green salsa. Give it a shot.
Okay. Why John choose? We were both born in the 70s. 70s babies. You know what I think all the time is I would have liked to have been, not that I want to wish my life away, but clothing wise, I would have rather been a teenager in the 70s. The teenage look in the 70s was awesome, I thought. The little kid look, everybody just wore like corduroys, and like jeans were a big, like dungarees, you know, were a big thing when we were kids.
Well, I've got the flannel shirt on, so there you go.
The music was great in the 70s.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's when I think you started seeing like David Bowie and
Mm-hmm. Well, we saw, what was it, Chic?
mm-hmm.
And they were big in the 70s, so.
Oh gosh, they were so good. So Nile Rodgers, who fronts Chic, well, they all kind of front Chic, but he's a writer, and he wrote for Whitney Houston and I don't know who else, Michael
All kinds of
Jackson,
different
all kinds of people. So he owns the rights to the songs. So when you go see Nile Rodgers, his band performs them all, and those women and his band can sing.
That's right.
What do you think of the green burrito?
It's pretty basic. It's just like refried beans and green salsa and maybe a little bit of cheese.
When it comes to burritos, or when it comes to salsa, I never choose green.
I usually don't.
I don't know why, but I
we
don't.
usually have like salsa verde chicken that we make. That's usually the only time that we really use it. But I liked it. It was really good. I think I like the tostada better, though.
Let us know if you are a green or a red salsa person. Actually, my favorite is none of the above. My favorite's pico. All right, moving along to the 80s.
Okay, let's see. Oh, the 80s is the meximelt.
The meximelt.
Yeah.
That was the thing I was pulling out before, I think, this. So this kind of looks like a sloppy burrito. We are going to put descriptions of what these things are in the pinned comment. This one looks like a total mess. So it's meat, cheese, tomatoes, onions. Meat meaning, I don't like to say just meat. It's ground beef. Yeah.
Yeah, it's their taco meat. So this is the first one that we've had today that has the taco meat in it. The rest have been beans.
It's really stuck to the thing. So this is 80s.
80s Meximelt, never had one.
We were teens in the 80s. We went to the same school, if you didn't know, and graduated in the same class together. But we haven't.
Did.
Yeah, and then we like parted ways and got back together at a high school reunion. If you didn't know, if you're new and didn't know that story.
There you go.
But anyways, about the 80s is, so when did we get one here? When you moved here, do you remember, did we have a Taco Bell?
I think so. I don't know. It was 1984. I really don't remember.
I can't even remember, like, you know, my dad really liked Kentucky Fried Chicken and my mom really liked Hardee's. And in that time, fast food wasn't as much of a thing. And we didn't eat fast food very often when we were kids.
Yeah.
And if you did, it was McDonald's, right? When we were kids. So we could have had a Taco Bell and just not known about it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't remember. But anyways, I definitely have never had a Meximelt before. That's not my favorite thing ever.
I liked it the best out of what we tried so far. I think I like that. I like the tostada. And then the green salsa burrito.
We have, before we move on to the 90s, we have to give the 80s its dues. Does everybody feel like this about the decade that they were teenagers? Is that, maybe that would be a good question for this video too. Are you most nostalgic about the decade that you were a teenager? I know that I am. Not that being a teenager was my favorite part of life, but I'm most nostalgic about, I love 80s clothes. I love 80s clothes. Like 80s looks, like give me an 80s party any day. And I love music from the 80s. When we were in high school, we kind of ran in different groups. So there was a lot of like hair bands when we were growing up, I would say. And I was off into like synthesized music was really popular, like Depeche Mode and the Smiths and New Order and bands like that. And that's what I was really into in the 80s.
Strangely enough, I kind of had a similar look with the flannel shirt and the shirt underneath the jeans.
You sure did. The hair was a little different.
Hair was a little different, yeah. But,
my hair was a lot different.
I don't always dress like this now, but when I do, it reminds me of back then.
Speaking of flannel, let's move to the 90s.
Yes.
And all things grunge. I
The
loved
90s
the 90s
was
too.
a wonderful decade. I think I loved the 90s very much. I was an adult then, out on my own. Well, I was in the Marines, but, it was fun.
You thought you were on your own.
Yeah, I thought I was on my own. I had daddy government following me around, telling me what to do.
We were both young parents in the 90s, and that's always like very scary, to have kids when you're a kid, really.
Mm-hmm.
And we both experienced that same thing. Made you grow up.
Yeah.
In a hurry.
Yeah.
But I'm fond of the music from the 90s. A lot.
For sure.
Okay, so we have a gordita.
Gordita Supreme, I think is what it was called.
That's what she looks like.
Yep. Gordita Supreme. 90s.
I have hopes for this. I don't know if I've ever had this either. I don't think that I have.
I think I might have had a gordita, but I don't know this one.
Because I eat what I like, and I just keep getting it. Like, I am a same order at Taco Bell kind of a girl, so I'm that
type of girl too.
I don't think I would have ordered this.
Right. I switch it up every once in a while, but mostly it's the same order that I get. I don't know, I just can't get past the tacos. I just love tacos.
That is a taco in a pita.
Mm-hmm.
The same ingredients. I would rather have that over a soft shell taco or hard shell taco any day. That's my favorite. I love it.
I love it too. It is more like
a drink, please.
Yeah, absolutely. It's more like a sandwich.
That's like people that say a hot dog is a sandwich.
Hot dog is a sandwich. Yeah, it's good though. The texture is okay. But I do prefer a crunchy taco.
All right. So let's rank and talk about which ones you'd get again. I would get the first thing we tried, the
tostada.
Tostada. I would get that again. It's very plain, but I would get that again. And I would get the gordita again, but I would not get the either two again. I wasn't the biggest fan of the green sauce. The meximelt, there was nothing wrong with it. It's just, it's like, I don't know, everything at Taco Bell that they have thrown into a tortilla. Here you go. It's just, I don't know, it's sloppy and messy. And
which one?
The meximelt.
Oh, the meximelt, yeah.
It tastes fine. It's just, it doesn't wow me.
The meximelt was like my favorite out of the thing. Then I think the tostada, then the gordita supreme, and then the green salsa burrito. I like them all. I would get them all again.
You would, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I think that bean burrito, whatever the green salsa burrito, was probably the most plain out of the things, but it was still tasty. I liked it with the green salsa.
It's
good.
The gordita part, very pillowy and soft.
Yeah.
Very much so. How much was this order?
$14.
$14 for 4 items and a drink.
Large
That's
drink, yeah.
Pricey.
It is pretty pricey.
What they should have done is made them all like the price they were
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah. One more thing before we go. We found out that they are adding another decade, the 2000s, on, what did I say? November 21st?
Yes, November 21st, and it'll be the 2000s, and it will be the empanada.
Yeah, the caramel apple empanada.
Right.
A dessert. And I guess a lot of people loved that. It was one of those things when restaurants take things away and people
people were upset about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So,
I have never had it, so we'll have to try it.
Me neither. This was fun to try things that were popular from different
decades.
Yeah. I didn't even know, honestly, that Taco Bell was around in the 60s or the 70s.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you grew up in a big town. I did not. I didn't even know Taco Bell was around in the 60s and 70s, to be honest, because I was a small town girl.
Right. Yeah. I was not a small town girl, but I still was only aware of the Taco Bell around, the 80s, 82, something like that.
Yeah. So let us know what some of your favorite trends from any of these decades were. And if you've tried any of these, which one was your favorite? Come to the pinned comment where we always pose questions like that every single day. And we have some playlists that we like to share with you and our address, etc. Now, if you like reminiscing or Taco Bell,
yeah,
or us,
or the video,
give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow when you do that. That's all we have for today.
That's it, guys.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.